see. What can I do today to not have to watch these baseball teams? We going to mow the lawn? Well, it's going to rain. No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go to the pool. Probably not tonight. It's going to be rain. Play some golf? No, probably not. Actually, neither team is playing. But hopefully you guys have some good activities for the next, I don't know, however long this season matters, because these guys are boring. Both of these teams, the Yankees and the Mets. I'd rather watch paint dry. Oh, my God. All right. Yankees first. No Judge. No playoffs. That's really that simple. No Judge. No playoffs. The New York Yankees are a one-man team in a sport where a one-man team is never rewarded. Ever. You know? And he's not playing for a while. I don't think, and Buster said this, not that it was necessarily, a report as much as it was informed speculation. So a loose report. He's not playing until the All-Star game. He's not. Aaron Judge is out for a while. And, without Aaron Judge, we're going to be watching this every night. 3-2, 2-1, 2-0, 3-zip, maybe the occasional explosion. Woo, they scored 4 runs tonight. Woo. Honestly, Yankees are just terrible without Aaron Judge. Like, there's nothing even to scream about, Like, it's just not good. They're not interesting. They're not fun. Is there a solution? I got one for you. And last night was the end of Torres. Is there anybody still holding out hope for Gleyber Torres? Oh, he's a young power hitter. Oh, he's an ascending player. Let me ask you a question about Gleyber Torres. Since he, and Hoff, if you want to answer this, you can. It's meant to be rhetorical because I know the answer, but I will accept your return, Valdi, if you are so in the mood. Since Gleyber Torres entered our viewing sphere, since he broke into the show, what in the world has Gleyber Torres gotten better at? What? His power numbers have dipped. His on-base percentage has dipped. His average has dipped. His stolen base, not that he ever ran, that much, but stolen base attempts have dipped. And, oh, yeah, what a surprise. His level of interest continues to dip as well. Oh, but I'm so nonchalant. I don't need to be locked in a 1-1 game, 8th inning. Why would I be? We're only trying to win the series from the Boston Red Sox. So let me half-ass this one-hop throw, which many of you could have caught with your eyes shut or with your mouth if you wanted to. And he don't even get leather on it. And the Yankees lose. So, listen, he's not, like, this is not personal. Please, I always understand that. Where are they going with him? Where are they going with Gleyber Torres? Where? You're never going to pay him the money, which is why I've always said trade him. So if anybody wants him, take him. There is one move for the Yankees. They're one move. Now, listen, if Aaron Judge was coming back next week, I don't know that I'd say this. He's not coming back for a month. That's 25 more games, Peraza, up. Volpe, second. Torres, outfield. And or trade. And or the occasional DH. That's it. Nothing's changing with this team. The way it's set up right now. You're not going to suddenly, come on. Use common sense. Use your baseball instincts. I'm not saying they're going to lose 7 in a row like the Mets had. We'll get to them after. But they're not going to hit, man. Without Aaron Judge, it's not going to hit. Yeah, all right. Stanton will, walk into the occasional fastball that goes 437 feet, if not further, with an exit velo of 116.7, and everybody's going to get excited. And then he will go back to being, what he is, an intermittent freak in terms of power, prodigious power. And that's it. And a liability every other aspect of the game. Complete one-dimensional player with a contract that is brutal. Brutal. So where's the internal solutions? I'm not going to start banging on these other guys like Calhoun, who's had a few good moments, and Bowers, who has had a few good moments, and McKinney. Like, This is what's amazing to me, though. We are here again. And this has always been the root of my issue with Brian Cashman. Here we are again, right? And the Yankees, midseason, have to roll out 3, sometimes 4 guys who nobody thought would be here when they broke spring training, all right? And they're actually playing every night. And this is with a top 2, top 3 payroll in baseball. Whoa, why do you always get on Cashman? Oh, he's won all these championships. Oh, Brian Cashman's great. Oh, Yankee fans are arrogant or entitled or whatever. You're petulant when they don't win. No. This is it. Last night, the night before, the lineup without Aaron Judge is atrocious. It is a train wreck. It is impotent. If you could feed them ED pills to start hitting, you should do it, because this offense is just, it's never going to wake up. It's going to be impotent until Judge comes back. Honestly. I mean, does anybody, oh my God. Does anybody even enjoy watching the New York Yankees right now? They are so boring. They're so boring. I mean, I'll tell you what, I know you're not going to do it in the Subway Series. I know you're not going to yank them off the field immediately. But I don't know how you tolerate what Torres pulled last night. I just don't know. And even Rizzo, when Rizzo gets picked off, he just stands there. Well, I'm not going to beat it. And I know he's not going to outrun third baseman and middle infielders, but can you at least try? I mean, optically, my 8-year-old son said, Dad, why did he stop running? I don't know, son, because he's lazy and he got picked off and didn't fake doing his job. And that's probably why. Literally stopped moving. So, we can, listen, I'll give you this. I will come fully clean and fully correct with this. There are days, and I'm guilty, everybody in this medium is guilty. Now, some people do it intentionally. I can say that I honestly don't, though I still do it. Yeah, we all overreact. Yes, we take the occasional little mole, boom, mountain. We do it. We fixate on one thing, whether it's Vogelback, whether it's Hicks. By the way, he's playing pretty well in Baltimore. Whether it was Hicks before he was gone, Donaldson before he came back. Like, we cherry pick these things and we just bash them to a bloody pulp every day. We truly do. We do. And listen, I'm sure there's an element where it's entertaining, or, you get your pound of flesh and you feel a bit better about things. But it doesn't change anything, really. In large part, it doesn't change anything unless it incentivizes a team to release a player. And maybe you could say all the stuff with Hicks finally got to the Yankees, or back in the day when Mike and Chris were banging the drum for the Mets to acquire Piazza. I don't know. Maybe that was the final impetus, or even more than the final impetus, a huge chunk of why they went and got him. Maybe. A lot of people think that's the case. I happen to as well. Whatever. So I'm not saying that we're voiceless. We're not. And I'm not saying that we're impactless. We're not. But as much as we scream about stuff, what really changes? Well, I'm going to tell you again, it is not going to change with this Yankee lineup. Because what they trot out stinks. It's just not that good. And I'm going to ask you again, who is most directly culpable? Who is it? It's Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman has not earned the right. It's Brian Cashman. That cut right there, what is that labeled? January of 2022? That is why I said it, because he didn't earn the right. You got the second highest payroll. What is it, 2 or 3, Hop? 2 or 3. And you're trotting out 3 nomads and like 2 AAA guys. Again, every year we go through this. Every single year. Oh, wait. I've got a caller, Hop, before. Sometimes it's misleading. Wait. Cooper and Suffern wants to defend Gleyber Torres?
That's what he said.
But it's not one of these things where I go to it and then it's a totally different thought. Did he say that he really wants to defend Gleyber Torres?
He said he wants to defend.
All right. You know what? I'm go right to it. Cooper, Suffern, you want to defend the guy who in a tie game didn't move and the Yankees lost. Let's hear it, buddy. What do you got, pal?
I'm not going to defend a moment in time.
Okay.
The guy is still a quality ball player.
You're complaining about Cashman. You're complaining about moves he did or did not make. He has an ownership who has given him a dollar amount that he cannot exceed. Write down Cole's salary on a piece of paper.
Yep.
Write down Stanton's salary right underneath that.
Okay.
Write down Judge's salary underneath that.
Yep.
Now what do you have left for 20?
Well, let me answer you, Coop. I'm going to give you an answer. First of all, a whole hell of a lot better roster than if it was done by, maybe a more modern current general manager who was better at this, but that's the long answer. Let me hit you with some other names. What's Trevino making? What's Higashioka making? What's IKF making? What's Volpe making? What's all these guys? They're not making anything.
Because they can't.
Well, hold on. Hold on. What's Harrison Bates? No, what are they? You've got three guys. I got news for you. Freddie Freeman's making a lot of money. All right, Bryce Hart. There's other guys in baseball and other teams that have two or three guys making big money. Don't tell me that you could not build a better roster. Stop crying poverty for Cashman.
It's not poverty.
Well, what is it?
He has a limit. It's not poverty. He has a limit. It's the top three payroll in the game.
Okay.
It's not poverty, but Yankee fans and probably yourself said there's no way they can't sign Judge. Correct?
Absolutely.
And this is the price you pay. It's unfortunate.
Well, no, hold on. Hold on. When Judge plays, you don't pay a price because he's awesome and they win. Without Aaron Judge, they stink.
I can't
Am I
disagree
wrong?
that the overall talent is in many cases is questionable. Somehow they pulled the game out of a rabbit's hat on Saturday night with an outfield that if you would never in a million years on DraftKings, if they offered you $1 million to 1 odds,
yeah, right.
you would have passed by it. But the argument will make it, take a look across town. The Mets are going to have to pay Pete Alonso. On top of the two pitchers that they have, maybe only one will remain because of the contract. But regardless, it's the name of the game.
Yeah, but the Mets stink too.
The
Mets stink more.
Here's the other thing: Volpe. People are calling for Volpe. Sending the kid down is not going to help. The Yankees were in a bad position last offseason when it appeared as though every team wanted either Volpe or Peraza.
Yep.
And Cashman said, "I'm not trading either." He might have been better trading them both, but. Because now you pick Volpe. I don't know what the decision-making process was, whether it's Volpe or Peraza that comes up. But now you pick Volpe. Now Volpe's hitting $186, and his defense is average.
Yep.
So now what do you do with Peraza? Do you bring Peraza up and maybe put him at second if the Yankees follow your plan of moving Gleyber?
At that point I would put Peraza at short. Thanks for the call there, Coop. Now let's also be clear about this. How disingenuous would it be to scream and rant and rave about the Mets not calling up their stars? Okay, I know most of them are here now, but think about what they were doing in Syracuse before they actually got the call. We were beating the drum every day. I mean, there was an endless stream of highlights on social media. Vientos, a 2-run shot. He's hitting 350. Another one for Mauricio. Oh, the pitch to Beatty. That's gone. Home run number 7. I mean, we were screaming. Even non-Met fans were like, this isn't right. And it's got to apply to the Yankees as well. How do you justify keeping Peraza down to the minors? You don't. Now, with Volpe, oh, man, it's getting tricky. I'm not going to lie to you. It's getting tricky. I would not send them down because there's other things that come with that. But the problem with Volpe now is that Judge's absence is going to amplify his lack of production. And I talked about this with Tiki. Tiki's off today, by the way. But when we first started to diagnose, Volpe's not, I don't mean the first 5-6 games. I mean, after April, even though we had a little run at the end of April that got us all excited, the first time he hit an extended malaise. And we're trying to figure out, what is it? Expanding the zone, blah, 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 the normal cyclical nature of a young hitter, right? Like, I couldn't imagine the Yankees offense looking this impotent nightly where we couldn't protect him. I always thought with Judge that at least there would be a blanket to insulate the kid. All right, hey, Volpe 0 for 4, a couple of whiffs. All right, he's down to 195. He's down to 202. He's sitting, 180s is different, but 188, 186. Hey, but the Yankees won 7-3 because Judge cranked the 3-run bomb. We're good. You could obscure that deficiency. You can't. You can't anymore. So you start by sitting more frequently, like last night to start. And I think the other move is you got to call Peraza. You've got to genuinely reward young accomplishments. Unless the team is so stacked and there's no room and it is what it is, and it's just bad luck and the circumstances are not favorable for in terms of elevating a young kid, and that happens sometimes. But that's a good problem. Then you could trade him. You know, the big league team is winning. Everybody's vibing. Neither team's winning right now, and you got prospects in the minors who are raking. So what the hell are we waiting for? You know? What are we waiting for? Hoff, I was thinking about this, all right? And I know that the Rangers season ended in flames, right? I know the Isles are young, and that didn't go well against the Canes, and the Devils are young, and they wanted to go further, but understood why they didn't. Giants won a road playoff game a year ago. The Jets didn't score a touchdown for the final month, basically, but with Aaron Rodgers, everything changes there. Obviously, the Knicks had a really fun season. We hated the way it ended, but they're ascending. The Nets have some really good young players. There's a thought Damian Lillard wants to come here. I say all that to the Nets. I say all that because I'm going to genuinely ask you the question. Without Aaron Judge, are the Yankees, and you can choose the word worst or the term most boring, worst or most boring of all the New York franchises? I'm legitimately asking the question.
I would say worst because when Judge is not there, the games become much closer, and they're going to be losing a lot more. So there's going to be, if they do win, it'll be a shocker. So I think for that'll be exciting. But for the most part, they're the worst.
Yeah. I mean, that says a lot. And even if you want to say, well, maybe they're the second one. Okay, but the fact that they're even in the conversation is alarming. And that's the point itself. Without Aaron Judge, they're just terrible. That's it. 877-337-6666. I got more people calling and defending Torres. When is New York going to get off this guy's jock? What am I missing with Gleyber Torres? What am I missing? I'll give you a chance to defend him. Don't worry. I promise. All right. Boy, how about that Mets game on Friday night? Oh, my God. I know you scored 5 in the last, but 14-2. Jeez. We'll get to them as well. Good times on the Baseball Diamond. Here we go. We're inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Saquon had some interesting things to say over the weekend. We'll get to that as well. And obviously a ton of baseball today as our heroes take it on the chin again. Hey, good news is somebody's got a win starting tomorrow, right? They played each other. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan.